Humble, defined by the Cambridge Dictionary, is to not be proud or to not believe you are important. Now, the part about to not believe you're important made me really question this definition. Did being humble really mean valuing yourself less or thinking of yourself as insignificant? Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, BTS, my idols. Did thinking of themselves as less important really make all these people humble? I feel that many of us have this misconception that being humble is valuing others to the detriment of your own self-worth, but I couldn't accept this. Hello, I'm Sofyani, and I was inspired to talk about humility because I feel that we all struggle with being the best possible people we can be. Today I want to present an important event that changed my life and a practical approach to how you can become a humbler version of yourself through adopting what I call the rainbow mindset. Picture this. Thousands of fans are singing in unison, waving their light sticks together, chanting the lyrics to the BTS song Magic Shop. The purple glow completely encloses them in a ball of light, creating a homely and united atmosphere. Being part of so many like-minded souls at that precious moment made me feel so important and moved. I was so happy. I didn't want it to end. Yet, the lights turned on, the band said their goodbyes, I fell into my post-concert depression. Yes, I cried my eyes out for days. I was miserable for weeks, stuck in the never-ending cycle of regret. Why had I been so preoccupied with the concert ending? Why hadn't I been able to enjoy my first and only concert to the fullest? It was then I made the decision that I was going to stop worrying so much about the future and start living in the present moment. And as if by magic, all of the sudden, everything seemed brighter. I was smiling, laughing more, everything felt I was just genuinely much more happier. Why? Because I realized that I was much more aware of everything happening around in my life. My mom's delicious cooking, my dad's unconditional help in math, having a brother I could tease 24/7, having friends who made my day and made school tolerable. It was humbling in the sense that I was able to appreciate these little things in my life that I never really noticed before. And that's when it hit me. Being humble means having a deeper sense of mindfulness about everything and everyone around you, including yourself. BTS has also taught me how to love myself. This is something we've all heard of, but do we really do it? Well, they are the ones who have taught me that only you are worthy of your own love. That is, compassion and value for yourself. At the end of the BTS concert, the leader of the group spoke this.
Through this Love Yourself tour, I'm finding how to love myself. I didn't know anything about loving myself. You guys taught me through your eyes, through your love, through your tweets, through your letters, through everything. You guys taught me and inspired me how to love myself. And what is loving myself? What is loving yourself? I don't know. Who can define their own method and the way of loving myself? It's our mission. It's our mission to define our way to love ourselves. So it's never intended, but it feels like I'm using you guys to love myself. So I'm gonna say one thing. Please use me. Please use BTS Every day.
And so it was from this heartfelt, powerful message and their songs that made me realize that if these people I admired so much for their humility made loving themselves a priority, I should too. Loving myself was important. That it was all about having a deeper understanding about yourself, being willing to recognize and accept any negativity about yourself, whether that is any criticisms, insults thrown at you, mistakes you've made, or failures. By looking at it with an optimistic attitude, by looking forward to the challenge of overcoming them. Previously, I had too much ego to admit weaknesses of mine, such as being forgetful, indecisive, or reckless. But now I've come to accept them with a positive attitude by looking forward to the challenge of overcoming them. And I've started to become more confident in myself as I embrace my weaknesses and strengths. So, ultimately, humble people are emotionally and mentally the strongest because they are confident in themselves, aware of their weaknesses and strengths, embrace the negativity with positivity, and are willing to learn and change. Lastly, BTS has also led me to the revelation that in order to love others, you have to love yourself first. If you want to embrace others, you have to learn to embrace yourself first. If you want to understand others better, you have to understand yourself first. I've noticed that humble people can empathize on a deeper level than normal people can. For example, Mother Teresa. She wouldn't have been able to dedicate her whole life to helping the poorest of the poor in the slums of Kolkata, India, if she hadn't had a deep sense of compassion for others, but also herself. If we aren't able to be kind and understanding towards ourselves when we have done something wrong or made a mistake, we won't be able to do the same for others. And this is all part of forgiveness and the bigger picture, humility. Previously, I wasn't able to appreciate myself fully, and I wasn't able to forgive myself when I did something wrong or made a mistake. And as a result, I wasn't able to do the same for the important people in my lives. But as I've started to become more self-compassionate, this started to change. I'm now able to tell my friends and family how much I appreciate them and love them much more often, and really forgive them. So in this way, I'm able to show my appreciation and love for them much more wholeheartedly. Therefore, humility must come from loving yourself first and loving others. Being humble isn't something you're born with. It's something you have to work on. Something that Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, my idols, BTS, all the people you can think are humble had to work on. Being humble comes from having a growth mindset, or rather what I call the rainbow mindset, which sums up everything I've just mentioned. So let's begin. The first color of a rainbow is red, representing the negativity. That is, criticisms, insults, mistakes, or failures. Once you're able to acknowledge that negativity, but nothing else, we arrive at orange. This is the stage that most of us are stuck at. Because of our ego, we aren't able to accept this negativity about ourselves, because we fear as being seen as weak, so we ignore it. But what we don't realize is that not accepting this negativity about ourselves is holding us back from moving forward, from changing or growing to become more stronger and more resilient. Once you are aware of that negativity and are willing to accept this, we arrive at the most important stage, yellow. This represents the spirit of positivity, when you're learning how to live in the moment by embracing the negativity with positivity, and are recognizing and celebrating your strengths and successes and learning from your weaknesses and failures. This symbolizes growth and change, represented by green. This is when you're learning how to be grateful and how to love yourself and love others. As you work on these things little by little, we arrive at the blue stage. This is the color of mental and spiritual stability, when you're trying to make peace with yourself and others. As you progress further and become more confident, we arrive at blue, at indigo. And this is when you've started to feel a bit more humble than you were before. And finally, violet, the color of humility, when you've become the most humble person you can by embracing the positivity and the negativity, and have learned to fully love yourself and others. So, the way I see it, if you want to become a humbler person than you were yesterday, I encourage you to step out of your own mindset and start embracing all the colors of the rainbow one by one and start developing a rainbow mindset. I'm not saying that I've become an expert on being humble, but rather what I've realized is that humility comes from being willing to change and grow, having a fuller sense of awareness about everything happening in your life, and learning to love yourself and others. So let me ask you this. Is each and every one of you here all really willing and ready to grow and change? If you are, right now, right here, is your moment to prove that you can be humble in your own right by not fearing change, but by embracing the rainbow mindset of change and working your way up towards the end of the rainbow. Thank you.